Hey, this is Apocalypse Joe. Doing another gun review video today, which is about a 22, which I think at some point every gun owner should own, whether it's your first rifle or not, whether it's your first gun or not, I should say. It's recommended that everyone gets these first, but by a lot of people, it doesn't matter. To be honest, if you can, I personally think that it didn't matter for me because the first one I got was the Ishapore. And that worked out fine. I was 12 years old and I could handle the recoil pretty well. I mean, yeah, it knocked me back a little bit, but I didn't fall down. I went like that. You gotta remember, this is a 7.62 51 NATO, and I'm 12. And I'm a much skinnier 12-year-old. I mean, my wrist was like almost like that when I was 12. I was a skinny boy back then. I could still handle a 7.62 almost back then, so hey. The particular one I have is a Marlin Model 81DL. Some of the features on a 24-inch barrel. It is rifled. Not sure on the grooving on this one. Tubular magazine, 17 rounds plus one in the chamber. It's a simple spring mechanism in the receiver. It's held back and the round will be in the air, and once you pull the bolt back, it pushes the round up and then you chamber it to avoid dry fire now, since it is caught. You just do this. Don't do that while it's loaded still, because it can still go off. And the weird thing about the safety, which is right here, it's a little thumb safety. It won't engage unless cocked. Go figure. I don't know why they would do that, but they did. This one's from the late 40s. When it was originally made, these were sold for $100. At least in the 50s, they were $100. These are like some of the Sears guns. What kills me is and that was a pretty penny, because let's put it this: what would normally be about $125,000 home today, at least where I live, it isn't a double wide. No, it's a couple steps above the double wide. It's like a 3-bed, 2.5 bath kind of place that are about $125,000, $150,000 now. Back in the 50s, it would be like $5 to $10 grand. So for 25 times less for housing, but it's only about half the price of today for this gun. Guns about like this are usually about $150 to $200, which kills me. I'm like, why is this so expensive? And I found it's the deluxe edition, which meant it had a hood that would go over the iron sight, but it didn't come with it when I got it at the gun show. Go figure. Which isn't that big of a deal. The hood, really honest, probably would have distracted me. Which reminds me, it's got a front iron sight. It's a bead sight. It's like a shotgun. No, I didn't say it is like a shotgun. I said sort of. But there's no rear sight, so you sort of have to guesstimate where the center is. And after a while of shooting one of something like this that doesn't have a rear sight, you figure out where it's going. To be honest, anyway. So to remove the bolt, it's like a Mosin I got. You pull it back, pull the trigger, and there you go. And put it back in, you pull the trigger until it's there, and you're good to go. Also, it's got these two little knobs here and here for putting a sling on it. Supposedly, I have yet to see a sling that probably wouldn't be a shoestring for this thing. Granted, the thing's only about 4.5 to 5 pounds. I mean, I'm able to just toss it up in the air like it's nothing. Granted, I can do that basically with an AK, but it's a little more than just nothing when you do it with the AK, or the Ishapore for that matter. It's got a nice little trigger pull. I mean, very small amount of pull. Yeah, it's about everything on this rifle. I mean, I got this for $160 at a gun show. Looking back now, I think I overpaid by about $20, but it's not that big of a deal. After 3 years, it's okay. Kind of wish I'd waited though and just gotten a Ruger 10/22 because I was a little naive when I was 16. I didn't know as much about guns as I know now. Wish I'd waited because Ruger 10/22s are very reliable. The semi-auto. That brings me to the debate of people saying, oh, between Bolt and semi. And each manufacturer has both. The three major ones, in my opinion, Mossberg, Ruger, and Marlin. We say, oh, you need the Bolt action because it teaches you principles of shooting, this and that, it's easier to maintain. Some people actually will tell you to get the semi-auto because it teaches you the principles of having to clean your gun. So that way you'll clean your guns more often, and they'll be better off. Personally, I just like having the Bolt because I was 16, I didn't care, I just wanted something. Granted, when I was 12, I had the Ishapore, but it's not that big a deal. That's another thing. Some people have, it's kind of shocking to me. I've seen people expect a recoil from a 22. They're just shouldering it. I mean, you should with any gun, but they're shouldering it thinking it's going to pop back. It's a little 22. It's always no recoil. That's why 12-year-olds are given these. I've seen 10-year-olds take these and just like, what is this? I think it's an air rifle. I've actually had air rifles that have more recoil than this 22. That's what's funny. But that about wraps up the video. Thank you all for watching. Without y'all, these videos would be pointless. If I can help one prepper or a gun enthusiast out with anything, even if it's just one of them, then I've been a success. And thank you all. Thank you. Have a nice day, and happy prepping, and have a Merry Christmas.